So it's November 8th, 2021, which means December 1st, 2021 is around the corner. Well, kind of like a month away. And that means Advent of Code 2021 is about to start. And if you haven't used Advent of Code before, it is a puzzle solving website that unlocks a new puzzle from the 1st of December to the 25th of December. So every single day, a new puzzle gets unlocked, and people from all around the world come here to solve the puzzles as quickly as possible on those days. And generally, this is meant for programmers. So you would solve this puzzle using code, any programming language you want, and try and complete it in the fastest time possible. So 2021 is not unlocked yet. Last year, I competed pretty well. And let's look at 2020. And I got most of the days done. I missed the 2 stars on 19 and 20, which means I couldn't do the 25th. But yeah, my 2020 looked pretty good. So what I want to do is complete one of the problems from a different year to show you what it's like to use Advent of Code. And then hopefully you can start joining in this year when December 1st comes around. So I don't think I did anything in 2018. Yeah, okay, I didn't do anything in 2018. So I'm just going to go to day 1. I could select any day now because they've all passed. But like I said, this year on the 1st of December, only day 1 will be unlocked, and then day 2 gets unlocked at midnight Eastern time, I think. So let's click on this. So this is like one of those problem-solving websites that gives you a challenge, kind of like you'd get in a tech interview or something. But you can use any language you want. You're basically given some sort of input, and you have to answer it, like run it through an algorithm, and then paste your answer in here, and you get a star or 2 stars for the day. So let's see. My goodness. This is a lot of text. They all come with this like stupid little Christmassy intro to them all, which is kind of nice, but also a lot of text to read. I actually don't want to read all of that. Maybe I should skip to day 2 instead. Maybe it's shorter to read. Nope. Okay, let's go back to day 1. All right. So let's look at this problem and try to solve it. So we've detected some temporal anomalies. One of Santa's elves at the Temporal Anomaly Research and Detection Instrument Station tells you. She sounded pretty worried when she called you down here. At 500-year intervals into the past, someone has been changing Santa's history. Ooh. The good news is that the changes won't propagate to our time stream for another 25 days, and we have a device. She attaches something to your wrist that will let you fix the changes with no such propagation delay. It's configured to send you 500 years further into the past every few days. That was the best we could do in such short notice. The bad news is that we are detecting roughly 50 anomalies throughout time. The device will indicate fixed anomalies with stars. The other bad news is that we have only one device and you're the best person for the job. Good luck. She taps a button on the device and you suddenly feel like you're falling. To save Christmas, you need to get all 50 stars by December 25th. Okay, this is just an intro into Advent of Code, because each day you get 2 stars, so you get 1 star for solving the first part of the problem, which is generally pretty easy to solve, and then it becomes a much more difficult problem. So this is kind of like a tech interview in some ways. Like you get, I'm trying to think of one of my real questions I got in a tech interview now. It was something, traverse through an array of items once and find a certain element. And I solved that problem in like 10 minutes. And then they quickly changed it to a more difficult problem where it was like a similar thing, but in a tree and there were more constraints, and I ended up failing the tech interview. So, this is good prep for tech interviews. Okay, collect stars by solving the problem. This is just introducing Advent of Code. Okay. After feeling like you've been falling for a few minutes, you look at the device's tiny screen. Error, device must be calibrated before first use. Frequency drift detected. Cannot maintain destination lock. Below the message, the device shows a sequence of changes in frequency, your puzzle input. A value like +6 means the current frequency increases by 6. A value like -3 means the current frequency decreases by 3. For example, if the device displays frequency changes of +1, -2, +3, +1, then starting from a frequency of 0, the following changes will occur. You go +1 to get to 1, -2 to get them. Okay, so it's like a calculator. In this example, the resulting frequency is 3. Okay, here is another example. Okay, so you're just like adding numbers. Starting with a frequency of 0, what is the resulting frequency resulting frequency after all of the changes in your frequency have been applied. Okay, so here's some like example input, right? Like this is a basic list, and this would give me 3, this would give me 0, this would give me 6. And this is my actual puzzle input, so it looks like it's going to be, oh my god, just a really long list of numbers, and I have to add or subtract them. Okay, so this is actually going to be pretty basic. Day one's always easy. That's, you know, I like that I chose day one here. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to take this middle one and copy it because it's got plus and minuses. So let's see, I'm going to open up VS Code, and I'm just going to write some code to try and solve this problem. And there's really like no right or wrong way of doing this. You're just trying to solve the problem. And like I said, you could do this by hand, really. Like you could just look at this puzzle input and start adding everything together. Or like, I mean, I could actually copy and paste this into Google and it'd probably give me the answer, but that'd be less fun. And I probably wouldn't be able to solve the second part of the problem if I did it that way. So my puzzle input is going to look something like this. I actually think the real input didn't have commas. Okay, so I'm just going to simulate what the real input looks like just so I can start with a basic thing. I think the easiest thing, I'm going to do this in JavaScript, is to just put this into a string, and then I'll pass the string and do something like that. So let's just save this file. Where am I going to save it? Yeah, sure, why not? AOC, advent of code.javascript. Okay, so I got my string. Let's see, I'm going to turn this into an array. So let's just split on a new line. Just going to write a few lines of code here to kind of get the correct input. So if I first trim this string and then split it, I think that should give me, I just can't log this out. I think this should give me an array where I just get like the strings +1 minus 2. So that's, what am I going to do? Node aoc.js. Okay, yeah, so there we go. So there's my input. So now I have it as an array. What shall I do next? I guess I should loop through and, I mean, this is like, I could try and, you know, you can get as fancy or as not fancy as you want with this. I think this is just so basic that I'm going to create a variable and I'm just going to loop through this array of input values. Let's see, I don't know, no, that's not good. No, I don't know. What should I call this? Whatever, I'm gonna go with I, even though that should be for index. I don't know, I'm bad at naming. And then we'll do, let's see, so I guess if the first character is equal to a plus sign, then I'm gonna add the number, else it must be a minus. Actually, I'll just do 2 if statements because I feel like this is going to get more difficult in the second part. So it starts with a plus, we're going to add it. If it starts with a minus, I'm going to minus it. I cannot remember how JavaScript strings work. I think, I'm trying to think about the best way of converting this to a number. How the hell do you remove the first character from a JavaScript string? Remove first character from JavaScript. Really should know how to do this better. What? Substring 1. Does substring 1 just remove the first? See, like I should just be better at coding and then I wouldn't have to do this, right? So if I write hello and I say substring 1. Oh, okay, that actually does do that. Oh, you know what I just realized? If I just... Okay, perfect. If you take a number in JavaScript, or a string in JavaScript that is a number prefixed by like a valid number prefix in JavaScript, I can just use the plus operator to turn this into a number. So if I just say plus I, that will give it to me as the number, either a negative. Oh, I don't even need to do any of this stuff then. That was dumb. All right, cool. So all I need to do is add the string to the answer. Kind of. I don't want it to do string concatenation for me by accident. So I'll say plus equals the number. So this should just give me the exact correct number, either positive or negative. Let's see what the answer is. I don't even remember what the answer is supposed to be. I'm not going to console log the input anymore. Okay, let's try this. Boom, 0. Is that what it was supposed to be? Yeah, all right. Am I feeling confident about that? Let's put in another +1. Should be like 3, right? Or 1. Yeah, there we go. And I could definitely shorten this to, let's see, equals input dot produce b a plus b. I don't think I need the 0 in there. Does that give me the same result? Do I know JavaScript? Yeah, awesome. Okay, I just want to be a bit more of an arsehole here and just do this as like a one-liner. Answer equals, okay. It's gonna be way more difficult to debug now, probably. See, is that working? Cool, okay. So my answer is coming out right. Okay, so that small amount of code will actually solve this problem. Now I can go back and get my real input, which I just clicked the link to get there. And hopefully this will work for my actual input. God, that's a lot of numbers. Okay, so if I run this, I get 536, and I have to put that back in here and submit it, and hopefully I got this right. Boom, I got 1 gold star. Okay, so again, you could have used any language, done it in any way. That worked. Continue to part 2. This is where it should get more difficult. Okay. You notice that the device repeats the same memory or the same frequency change list over and over. To calibrate the device, you need to find the first frequency it reaches twice. For example, using the same list of changes above, the device would loop as follows. You get to +1, you get to -1, you get to +2, +3, okay. This example, the first frequency reached twice is 2. Because you go, okay, so it's the first duplicate, got it. Note that your device might need to repeat its list of frequency changes many times before a what? Note that your device might need to repeat its list of frequency changes. Oh, cool. Before a duplicate frequency is found. And that duplicates might be found while in the middle of processing a list. Here are other examples. First reaches 0 twice. Okay, so it's saying that you're not just going to loop through the list and add all the numbers together like I just did. You might need to endlessly keep going around the list and keep adding those numbers on until you reach something that is met twice. So you would +1 to get to 1, you'd -1 to get to 0, you'd +1 to get to 1, you... Wait, wouldn't... Oh no, maybe I got that wrong. Because 0 is met twice, so you start with 0, you +1, you -1. Reaches 10 twice. So if you start with 0, you go 3, 6, 10. Yeah, so you do have to keep looping. Okay. All right. What is the frequency your device reaches twice? Okay, let's just grab this second example, and my output should be 10, and now I have to figure out, geez. Okay, if this becomes too difficult, I'm just going to skip to the ending of the video. So let's put in that input and put it in the format. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to the way I was doing it because this won't work anymore. So I'm going to loop through this array. Okay, so this is going to be an endless loop, really. So I'm going to loop through this just until I'm done, while true. Okay. I'm realizing that this is more complicated. Okay, this is fine. This is gonna be good. So I'm gonna keep looping and kind of like before. Okay, so I'll have an index and an answer. Okay, so I'll grab the current thing out of the input. So the current number is const num equals input at index, and just to make sure it's actually a number, I'm gonna put that plus sign, JavaScript, and then I need to index plus plus, I guess. Should I do that in line? No, I'll just, won't be an arsehole. I'll do it down here. Okay, index plus plus, but actually if because I need to keep looping around the array, if the index is greater than or equal to, I always get this wrong, if it's greater than or equal to the input dot length -1, then I need to set index back to 0. Okay, so that'll handle that. I guess I could just leave that all at the top. Okay, so I have my number and I need to add that to the answer. Answer plus equals the new number that's being added. Okay, so this is kind of like what was going on before, but this will just endlessly loop forever. So I need to keep track of the answer. So the first time the answer is 0, the second time it loops it will be 3, the third time it will be 6, then 10. I need to keep track of all of those numbers and then check for a cycle. So for that I could use like basically a set. Seems like the only logical answer to me. So I'll just create like I don't know. Why is naming variables so hard? I just need to keep track of the things I've already done. Numbers, whatever. Numbers equals new set. So once I have a number, when do I want to add this in? Maybe I'll do it like this. So I'll create the set with 0 because that's the current answer. And then every time I update the answer, I'll say numbers dot, how do you add? Is it add for a set? I think it's add for a set and push for an array. Add answer in there. But before I do that, so I'll do that at the end of the loop. So I update the number. So first time it's 0, now it's going to be 3. It'll get added to that set. But if numbers has the current answer, if it already exists in that thing, then I know I found my repeated values. So I'll break out of this loop. And what am I supposed to do? What is the first frequency? Oh, okay, so the answer then becomes... I'll just remove this. All right, so if it already has been passed, then the answer is the answer. And then we'll break out of the loop. So if I did this right, it won't just endlessly loop forever. It should, let's see, yeah. So I got a new set to store the numbers we've already found. Loop forever, keep looping through the array, that's all this does. Update the answer. If I've already come across that answer, we're done. Otherwise, add that answer into the number set and keep repeating. Okay, I think this will work. I think that looks good. Let's find out. Okay, I wonder how long this will take to run. That's not a good sign. It's been running for a while. Oof, that is never a good sign. Okay, do you think? Oh, God. Okay, yeah, so out of range. Okay, so I can't keep adding the numbers. Oh, do I have to think of a better way? This is annoying. So I keep adding... Oh, wait. How do you make a new set? Yeah, I think that's how you make a new set. I'm just going to make sure my code's actually working as I expect it to. So I'm going to console log numbers on each time around. Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's a set of numbers. It's just never finding the same number twice. Yeah, that should have been way simpler, right? Like with this tiny input, let's try +1 and -1. I'm gonna go even simpler than that. +1, -1. I've definitely messed something up. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Why would it keep, it's just supposed to add 1 or minus. I don't think this is the issue, but I'm now like questioning my JavaScript. Okay, no, that's not it. What is going on? Isn't this great? Now imagine if it was like really timed and I was stressing out. Oh, am I not looping to the end of the array? Yeah, okay. I knew I'd mess this piece up too. I knew it. I always get it wrong because having to think about the length of an array versus the index and greater than or equal to. Yeah, okay. So if, because I put it here, if I put it at the bottom, yeah, or the top rather. Okay. All right, wait, no, that worked. Cool. Okay, so let's what did I have? I need these numbers now. I want to make sure that this reaches 10. God, that was an awful mistake. I mean, not my worst Advent of Code mistake. I've made way dumber mistakes, but you know, whatever. Boom, 10. Okay, I got to stop console logging my entire set out. But yeah, you can see it. There we go. It's like looping through. It's adding them into the set, and then it finally gets to 10 twice. Yay, okay. So this should be good. I need it for my actual input again. Same input as before. Let's paste that in. That's a lot of numbers. Okay. Boom. All right, so that should be my number. This should be the first number that is reached twice. Okay, that first version was awful. Let's submit this. My lights just went out as I submit and got another gold star. And I can share this victory. Now let's return to my advent calendar. Yay, I have 2 stars in 2018. Fantastic. All right, so Advent of Code. That is it. You should start doing Advent of Code on December 1st, 2021. I might put a link to my leaderboard in the description if you want to join. And yeah, I mean, go to one of the years right now and start going through and solving these problems. It's super fun and good practice for just like programming and trying to solve dumb little problems, which is always a good thing to become a better programmer. More comfortable programmer, maybe. I don't know. Or just like feel bad about yourself because you make stupid problems like